Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Head to Head live conversations on matters that really matter. My name is Noah Toluleke Afeoluwakwe, founder of the Purpose School, Nigeria's premier self-discovery, purpose discovery academy for young people. And I'm also known as Mr. Purpose. And tonight we will be talking about how a young man that went through our academy about 10 or 11 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, how he discovered his own grand discovery. All right, so you're welcome to the head-to-head conversations with Mr. Purpose. And tonight we have a very interesting story, because if you do not know the story behind the glories of men, you might think that some people just became overnight success. There's no such thing as overnight success, and the only book where you see success before work is the dictionary. The only book where you find success before you find work is the dictionary, because of the arrangement of the alphabet. But nothing good comes easy. Behind the glory, there is a story. And behind the life of grandeur, there has to be a grand discovery. There has to be the discovery of your purpose. You need to know why you were born. You need to discover what you were born to do, and then pursue that discovery with every energy you have, with all the resources, with your time, with your talent, and with your treasures. And tonight we'll be engaging a young man in a conversation that is very important, especially for the Gen Z generation. And in fact, the discussion around purpose is a discussion that that cuts across all ages, all races, all ethnic groups. So whether you are a man or a woman, there is a purpose for your life. Today I posted on my social media platforms 10 truths about purpose. And one of the truths that I posted is from the good book. It says there's a time and season for every purpose under heaven. There's a time and season for every purpose under heaven. And the time that you were born was proposed by God. God chose the time of your birth, but you choose the time that you discover the reason for your birth. I'm going to say that again. God chose the time of your birth, but you are to decide when you discover the season, when you realize or you recognize the purpose for your birth. I also said, until you know the core reason for your life, you will mismanage the seasons for your life. If you are still under the age of 25 here, we have a special offer for you. So please listen out till the end of this Instagram live. There's a special offer for you. If you are between the ages of 13 and 25, then there's a special offer for you. There's a grand offer for you. So please stay to the end of this video, and your life will not remain the same again. In my country, Nigeria, presently the undergraduates have been out of the classroom for about 8 to 9 months because the lecturers have been on strike. Such are some of the realities, though they are sad realities in our country, but that is what it is. But I want to say to every young person watching this video out there that God has a purpose for your life. God has a plan for your life. That plan is to make you a grandeur individual, to make you live a grand life, to make you a master, to move you from living a life of mystery to gaining mastery of life. And that begins at the discovery of your purpose. And we have themed this year's edition of the Purpose School, the Grand Discovery. The Grand Discovery. Every man, every champion you see today shining like a star have so many scars, but because they have mastered the art of turning their scars to stars, based on the revelation of their life's purpose, you see them soaring higher in spite and despite challenges and difficulties in their environment. You see such individuals still rising from one level of glory to another. And we have a young man who went through the Purpose School Academy many years ago, and his story is so phenomenal. I'm not going to go into all of the story. I would just invite him in, and then we'll begin the story we'll begin the story behind his own grand discovery. Please, wherever you're joining us from tonight, can you just signify in the comment section where you're joining us from, and please send this live video to your friends. Okay, Daniel, I can see you. Please, can you request to join the live conversation so that I can add you to the conversation tonight? I see Favor_Etiquette Diva. That's my lovely wife. Shout out to you, my beautiful wife. When you make a grand discovery, you also get into a grand relationship that sails towards a beautiful, purposeful marriage. All right, I'm adding Daniel to the conversation. Just waiting for. Okay.
All right.
All right, now we are live with King_Dapper. Is the Dapper King? Is the king with some swag? You know, I can talk on and on about this dynamic young man, and I would not be wrong. All right, so Daniel, how's your day been? Welcome on board Flight Purpose, Flight Grand Discovery 13.0.
Yes, 13.0. I'm super glad to be here. Thank you very, very much for inviting me for this amazing, amazing Instagram live. My day has been great. Has been up and about. I had to rush in so I can making this live. The Lagos road is blessed. Oh, thank God for making a way. Well, I'm super
Thank
glad to be here. Excited.
All right, thank you for rushing in. And you know, when you said rushing, it reminded me of that drink. Most of your generation might not know it. It's called Crush.
Crush.
You know,
Oh, I
Crush.
remember Crush.
Orange.
I
All
never had
right, so
Crush, but I remember seeing the bottles around.
that's a good rhyme. Okay, so uh, without much ado, let's get right into it.
Awesome.
Our subject tonight is how you made your grand discovery.
Cool.
Uh, the Purpose School is not very known in Nigeria yet,
Mm.
but our job is to keep the vision alive and keep talking
Mhm.
about this phenomenal subject of purpose.
Yeah.
And purpose is the foundation to long-term success. Every great man or woman out there that you see today, most, if not all of them, at a point had to make a U-turn, change their initial course of destination when they had a revelation of who they truly are and what they are doing on the earth. So
Mm.
let's get to meet you. Let's get to meet you. What's the story behind your glory? What's the story behind your glory? But let's get to meet you, and then we'll ask a bit of more questions.
All right. So my name is Daniel Idiabor. I'm from Delta State. I am a creative artist, majorly a filmmaker, actor, director, and scriptwriter. I also do spoken word and I host events. And it's funny how mentioning these things now, they are all artistic and about, let's say, 10 years ago, this was not the path that I would have said I would have been in. because I remember vividly my parents wanted me to do medicine, right? I wanted to do medicine, but now I'm an artist, a filmmaker. I've done a couple of short films. A couple of them I've showed I've showed on African Magic. Um, being a finalist in a very, very, very prestigious filmmaking competition. And currently I have films that I put up for festivals, and I'm fingers crossed that they'll be picked for festivals, and that's a big deal. To be able to make a film and put in a festival, it's a big deal. So yes, I can say that I am literally living my dreams and I'm growing in them. And I can say that the reason why I'm confident about saying this is because I discovered my purpose and myself and my unique gift and calling. And that's why I am where I am today. And I think the most significant thing about where I am is that I am happy. I am not just happy, I am fulfilled doing what I'm doing. Um, I see the joy in my mother's face when she sees me on TV, or a friend calls her, I see you're picking for TV. I say, yes. I say,
Before
wow.
before we get into all of that, where your mom is happy now, let's go back 10, 11 years ago. Well,
Oh,
give us the story when you were in secondary school, SS1, SS2. What was in fact, tell us the decision, uh, tell us the reason behind your decision to go into science class in GSS 3. What was the reason behind your moving into that department in SS1?
all right. Thank you very much. So I remember vividly that before I even got to JSS3, my mother has been telling me that I would be a medical doctor. It's a
Oh,
weird reason. I think I'm safe to mention it here. So she said that when I was born, a pastor came to the house to pray, naming ceremony and everything, and he prophesied that I would be I'll be a doctor. Let me say medical doctor, but it is like I have PhD, a doctor. So she said doctor, right? And
okay.
yeah, the funny thing, I remember when I was younger, there was a debate between my mom and my dad. My dad wanted me to do accounting because he was an accountant. And then my
Okay.
mom wanted to do medicine. And at that time, I was extremely naive. I didn't know so much about living a life of purpose. I just, in my mind, I was like, both of you should go and do the debates. Anybody that wins should come and tell me what they want me to do. And for some reason, my mother won, and my father was like, you know what, I mean, let him do medicine. So fast forward to secondary school. So I went into secondary school with the mindset that I'm going to do medicine. So it was a
Medicine.
no, yeah, it was a no-brainer that when I'm in JSS 3, obviously it's science class I should be. And that was not just all. I also remember vividly that we had a counselor in my school.
School. Okay.
Yeah, in my school, but I would I wouldn't say it was counseling that she gave us. What she did was group counseling. When I mean group counseling, she just said all of you that did very well in junior Y, all of you go to a science class. You that did not
Oh,
do so
wow.
well. Yes, that was the counsel that she gave us. Just I think she came to class that day and just told us, okay, this is what she thinks, that if you did very well, that your brain is hot, you do well in science class. And if you did not do
Wow.
so well, just like that. And aside the fact that yes, I've always wanted to do, I've thought that medicine should be the way, so science was the way. That didn't even help to make me do a rethink, since they said, all of us that did well, now let's go to science class. So I just felt okay. If I was spiritual, that I'd say, it's a confirmation in the mouth of two or three witnesses, but that's not true. But yeah, so those were the major decisions that made me go into SS1 as a science student.
Okay. So, uh, you, when you encountered the purpose school, you were already a graduate from secondary school,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
what was going on in your life at that time? And then why did you decide to go through the purpose school at that time? It wasn't very known and it was a new concept. And so, what was your motivation for that decision?
Okay. Honestly, I remember vividly that after I left secondary school, I went to a tutorial center to prepare for another jam, because the jam I took that year didn't work out. And in that course of that year, in the tutorial center, we had a fellowship, and I became very committed to God. I think that was the same year I gave my life to Christ, where before we give it and take it, give it and take it, give it and take it. Now we give it and we drop we give it and we dropped it there. And so encountering God and exposing myself to the Word of God and to teachings about man and God, if I should put it that way, it was heavy that every human being had a purpose, had something they should do. And aside that, I started discovering other part of myself that were not necessarily artistically inclined. I'm sorry, scientifically inclined. And the first part was I realized that I had a knack for speaking, talking. And at that time, I didn't know anything existed as public speaking. So I just know, okay, this talk while they talk, it go good. Oh. Then I canceled myself that, okay, since I like talking and I'm already doing medicine, maybe I should just be a practitioner, a medical counselor that will talk to people after treating them. That was my thought. So those are the things that are going on in my head. And unfortunately, I believe that God ordered my step to meeting you, because I remember meeting you. I came to you that I wanted to be a public speaker.
Yeah.
That was the plan, yeah. And at that time, I knew I started. The truth is, once you, oh,
Discovered your gift.
yeah, it's all my
You
gift,
had
right?
talent for speaking, but
Yes,
you had not
the
made the grand discovery
discovery yet,
about your
yes,
life.
there,
But
yes,
that gift pointed you towards us, towards me, and gave you some form of direction. All right.
definitely, yeah.
So now there are a lot of young people out there today who are very attracted to symbols or role models of success,
Mm-hmm.
and they are yet to find out their own true identity. So you find out that most times you see a lot of young people. Uh, Now this is the world of social media. They go on social media and do what they see others have done and made them succeed,
Mm.
but they do not have the seed of greatness in that field. They don't have the seed that they are copying. But most
Yeah.
times, for example, uh, maybe you watch a skit by XYZ comedian and you sense you have maybe some form of humor inside of you, and then you believe that the next thing that you should be doing is doing skits. And
Mm.
after some time, because that's not what they are designed by God with the ability to do. So now, what I'm trying to say is, um, what would you say to a young person between the age of 13 and 25 right now who possibly uh, missed it in the area of choosing the right course? Maybe they have also, there are a lot of young people now. ASU is on strike. The universities are not giving lectures at the moment. So a lot of young people are frustrated. Some of them are at home. Uh, in code, they feel that they are stuck.
Mm.
Since the academic calendar seems to be counting and winding off. But for you, you had finished secondary school, and then
Yeah.
you went through the purpose school courses. I want you to share that experience and
Okay.
what informed your decision to go back to secondary school and then take WAEC all over again. I want you to give us a detailed analysis of that story. What happened to you at the purpose school? What happened inside you as well?
All right, beautiful. So, that period, I started realizing that, inclining myself, having that mindset that I'm willing to do God's purpose for my life, started opening me up to other gifting that I had, and one of them was what attracted me or pointed me to you, right? And going through the purpose school, I I remember vividly one of the courses that really helped me was discovering your personality makeup, making me understand that
Mm,
every human being was created for a particular purpose. Like I remember the example you gave of a pen, of a biro. that it was created that way for its purpose. The pen and the pencil might look alike, but they are designed differently for the different things that they can do. That's one of the illustrations that stuck in my memory for a very long time. So going through that
Wow.
and going back to check on myself, and so I think one of the things that helped me was I had to do a personal life analysis, and God helped me that I went back as far back as while I was a child, to think about the things that I loved doing, and even had conversations with my mom and my mom herself to ask me, okay, when I was a child, what were the things that you saw me doing effortlessly? And when she started mentioning things that were there, I realized that all of them were artistically inclined. I remember I realized that when I was young, if I'm washing plate or doing any work, she said she watches me and I will literally act a full film by myself. I'll be talking to myself, doing drama, doing yes, doing many things. And I also
Mm.
remember when I was in this is one of the I think this experience was one of the experiences that sealed it for me that okay, guy, you need to switch. This is not your place. Science is not your place. Was when I remembered nursery school, we were meant to do a poem, and they were doing auditions for children, and the poem was Peter Papa pick a peck of pick a peck of pick a tata pick tapa reverse pick a pick a tata pick, and we were meant to do it that fast,
Was
and
a tongue twist-
every ch- every child I was
I
trying
was-
it was sorry.
I said that's a tongue twisting poem.
Yeah, that's done, yes. And every child I was trying it at that time, they were not getting it right. And I was not even in the audition line. But I just felt that this thing is easy, you know, you guys not
Easy.
getting it right. I said, let me try. And I tried and I got in for and I got the part, and the day of the performance, I did it, and every single person, they were amazed. And when I remember that, it's as if it was a flash that guy, this thing is the thing. When I remember that experience, I just knew that okay, this my makeup, the things I love doing, the way I
Was
am, my
pointing
gifts, and
to art.
yeah, we're pointing towards arts. And I've never been convicted like that in my entire life. I knew that the right decision to do was to switch from science to arts. And yes, like you mentioned, I have left secondary school 2 years. This was 2 years after I've left secondary school. I've wrote jam twice at that time as a science student. And the year I discovered this, one thing that happened was that at that time I knew, but I think jam was quickly approaching. So uh, the the confidence or the conviction had not built enough. And that year, I still went on to
You wrote
register.
jam a good
I wrote
time.
jam again as a science student,
The science student.
and the jamming. Then I knew, okay, this is not. If I needed any other confirmation, I would have said that was it. That okay, I need to make that decision. So I one of the reasons that helped me was I was convicted that this was the path for me after discovering myself through going to the purpose school, understanding what purpose can do to you. I mean, I remember vividly class of understanding purpose that can protect you, provide for you, promote you. And I'm like, these things are good things now. If I really want to live life and live life with all these things, it makes sense to live a purposeful life. So those teachings helped me make the decision that if living a life of God's purpose for your life can bring all these good things and bring fulfillment last, that there's no better thing to do than to just align yourself. And it looked like it was a late time because I'd left secondary school. But trust me, is better late than never. And the
Mm,
time to wake up, trust me, is the right time. Don't delay. I remember
mm.
one of the illustrations you also gave, and I hear you say that the best time or the one of the oh, I can remember, I know a good time to plant a tree is now.
It's 10 years ago.
The the best time is now 23 years ago. So if I'd missed it that time, okay, now that I am aware, the best decision to do is to make that decision now. So I'm talking to anyone out there that is young, or you feel you're even old, you're more than 20 or 18, or you're even still a teenager, and you think you're in science class now, or you're in art class, commercial, and you feel that's not where you should be. Trust me, the best time to make that decision is now. It was not easy. There was a lot of drama. I hope you remember the drama that was involved switching from
Yeah.
science to art. There was a lot of drama from my parents, from my
Your
uncles, my entire
mom,
family.
your mom came to our office. I can never forget the evening that your mother came to see me in the office. And in fact, she called me, said, Mr. Noah, are you around? I said, yes, ma. And from the tone of her voice, I knew there was trouble. And the first question she asked me was, what did you tell my son? What did you tell my son? He's not listening to me again. What has purpose got to do with what somebody studies in university? Can somebody not do just any course and
Mm,
just fulfill his purpose? And I asked her a simple question. I said, Mommy, if a fish were to take a course in university and
yeah,
you want that fish to succeed, what course do you think the fish should take? She said swimming. I said, what if the fish now goes into aviation school and is learning how to fly?
right.
When will that fish ever succeed? She said, so she kept quiet and began to think. I said, your son is making a wise decision. In fact, he's a bold man. He's no longer a boy because you were still a teenager at that time, but you were making
Yeah.
a decision that a lot of adults today are afraid to make. Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory, he said, and I quote, the richest, the wealthiest place
Mm,
on the earth, on planet Earth today, is not the oil wells in Saudi Arabia. It's not the diamond mine in Liberia or South Africa. The wealthiest place on the earth today, he said, is the
yep.
graveyard, the cemetery, because there are a lot of people that died with their potential untapped.
Yeah.
Books not written, songs never sung, movies never scripted,
Yeah.
buildings never built, businesses never built, ministries never started. All manner of greatness and geniuses buried under the ground 6 feet and never to be experienced on this side of eternity because they were afraid to
Mm-hmm.
pay the price for pursuing their destiny.
Yeah.
Now one of the costs of fulfilling purpose is that you will lose your comfort zone.
Mm,
You will lose, yes, you would step out of your comfort zone. And one of the things that make a lot of people not want to pursue purpose is what I call uh, the conformity syndrome. Nobody
true.
is doing this. Nobody is doing this, or what I call the popularity test. A lot of people will feel good if what they are doing is popular, that
Yeah.
everybody is doing this course or everybody is doing this thing. So a lot of people want to blend in, not realizing that God actually created you to stand out.
Out. True.
And
Yes.
it's only
Wow.
when you stand out that you will be outstanding in life,
Yeah.
So, um, so I want you to tell us, how were you able to navigate the season of making that decision, standing by that decision, and what convinced you that, yes, I was not an art student for 6 years, but I'm going to write WAEC for the first time in my life, sit for about 9 subjects as an art student? What were the sacrifices you had to make? And how were you able to navigate that season?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the decisions I made beforehand was that um, I never wanted to go to university to study a course that when I come out of university, I would not use it. I just felt it's not the best
Waste of
investment of my time. Yes. And also, I also learned beforehand that one of the why people succeed in university or in school is because if you are doing your purpose, you're doing what you love to do, you don't need motivation to go to classes. You don't need motivation to do what you ought to do. You will look forward to learning. And I wanted that. I wanted to be an outstanding student, and everything that would help me become that outstanding student was I was willing to do. And I realized that, okay, if love and passion for what you're doing is one of the keys to succeeding in school, then it only makes sense to do a course in line with what you love and what you've been called to do. And that's why that was the reason why I decided to do go back to thinking about it now. It was a lot. Go back to secondary school, and I've never mentioned this before. I never mentioned it before, but I had a funny dream one time. I think before I left, after I left secondary school. I don't know that it ties to it, but I remember I had a dream that I was in a school uniform writing exams all over again. And I'm like, nah, God forbid. I pray that, no, nah, nah. Yes, and I've never mentioned it before, but I had that encounter. But
Was
so when
that
I went
before
back,
you went through the purpose school?
yes, before I went to the public school, actually, before
Oh,
after I left second, I think after I wrote my first jam, I had that dream, and I was like, I prayed against that. No, 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 never, ever. In Jesus' name, amen. And and so that thought came to mind when I was faced with a difficult decision that, okay, if you really want to pursue your purpose, because I left secondary school with a science result. I could not use a science result to enter into the university system in Nigeria as an art student. So it means I had to go back to write SSC and jam all over again as an art student. It
mm.
was a serious moment in my life. First of all, the fear of I never did arts in school. How am I going to cope? And then the fear of this decision. I felt like I was alone. Aside from your support, I felt like I was alone. So if I do not succeed in this thing, hey, I'll now come back and say, I changed my mind, maybe. So all those thoughts were in my mind that what if this does not work? But like I said earlier, I've never been convicted like I have been in my entire life before that time, that this decision is the decision that
Is
you
the
should be
right
making.
decision. Just hold
Yes,
your thought there. Hold your thought there.
all right.
If you're just joining us, wherever you're joining us from, this is head-to-head conversations on matters that matter. And here with me tonight is Daniel Idiabor, an alumnus of Nigeria's premier and leading Purpose and Self-Discovery Academy. It's called the Purpose School. I think about 11 years ago, he stumbled on the information about this great life transforming academy. And at that time, he had concluded his secondary school education as a science student, but he was not convinced that he was headed towards the right direction. And every result around him then was pointing to that. He failed jam, like we say in Nigeria, jammed him. He had low self-esteem issues. He felt out of place, but he made that decision, attended the Purpose School, and the teachings brought to light that he now had to make a decision. And like I say, indecision is still a decision not to make a decision. I will say that again. Indecision is still a decision not to make a decision. There is a predestination for your life. There is an expected end. There's a place God has reserved for you in destiny, in life. And the first key that will get you started on that journey is for you to make your own grand discovery. I said on my one of the things I posted today, you can check it on my Instagram or my WhatsApp status. I said the cost of fulfilling your purpose is not as much as the cost of ignoring your purpose. The cost of fulfilling your purpose is not as much as the cost of ignoring it. Now, you said God had given you some flashes in your dream. You saw yourself wearing school uniform, and you you said, "God forbid bad thing." Meanwhile, that was God trying to get you to know that, hey, young man, you need to make a U-turn because you have missed your way. You were innocent, but you were ignorant all the same.
Yeah.
So there are millions of people, there are millions of young people today possibly innocently making wrong decisions, making wrong turns. Now, some of you watching this video, the ASU strike might look like a negative thing, externally speaking, but this could be your opportunity to make the grand discovery. So
Yep,
you need to
definitely.
send me a DM after watching this video and ask how you can register for the Purpose School. We have 12 courses. It's going to hold from September 12th, which is our anniversary date, actually, as at the Purpose Center started September 12th, 2009. And
Woo!
we're going to be 13 years as an organization, and
Awesome.
our primary message and assignment is to help you find you, understand who you are, understand why you are the way you are. And we have 12 courses that will run for 3 days, September 12th, September 13th, and September 14th. And these courses are not taught in any university or any secondary school in Nigeria. They are uniquely designed to help you discover who you are, help you understand your strengths, and and they will point you to the career that best fits your natural abilities. We also show you how you can get paid for what you were made to do. There's no sweeter life where you are being paid and being rewarded and being acknowledged and being affirmed and appreciated in life for being who you are, or being who you are. So I'm talking to all the young people in Nigeria right now. If you are an undergraduate and the ASU strike has kept you at home, this is a good season for you to make the decision to discover who you truly are, to even know if you have been studying the wrong course. Maybe you have been in school for 3 years and you're studying a course that you have no business studying. What purpose helps you do if you are still in secondary school, or if you have not yet gotten admission into university? One of what the clarity purpose brings to you is that purpose shows you what your life's work is, shows you
Mm,
what your life's work is. And the
yeah,
wisest thing to do is to get an education in the area of your talent. Before you take your talent to the market, you should take your talent to school. A lot of, uh, you know, the formulas for success in life is so easy, but it is hidden to the untrained eyes. So a
yeah,
lot of young people, your generation, the Gen Zs, a lot of people focus on their talent. Oh, I'm talented in this, I'm talented in that. But the first thing you should do to your talent, before you take your talent to the market, to try and start a business with your talent, you need to take your talent to school. You need to get an education in the area of your talent. And there's a law, the law of mastery. For to become an expert in any field, you need to have done that thing for at least 10,000 hours.
mm,
10,000 hours. That's why we have been preaching and being the crusader of early discovery of purpose, because your purpose will show you your natural talent, the
yeah,
dominant talent. And then we also show you how to discover your personality makeup. You talked about personality makeup. That's one of the
yeah.
courses that I am most passionate in teaching to people, because now, if you want to write in primary school, you start with a pencil. As you
Mm-hmm.
advance in the school system, they introduce you to a biro, and then um, when your teacher wants to mark your script, she doesn't use the blue or black pen, she uses the red pen,
Right.
because her purpose is different. The purpose of the red pen is different from the black pen. So understanding your personality makeup, it helps you narrow down your specification, the field of study that you ought to gain admission in, and the career path that best fits you. So we have a the purpose school is like a bespoke academy where you go into, and then you come out with a bespoke revelation, a custom made revelation of where you ought to be headed in life. And there are a lot of benefits already waiting for you on that path. So
Mm.
Daniel, tell us some of your accomplishments from the time of discovery of your true identity, and then you wrote your first jam. I don't remember clearly, but I think you scored 272 or 262. And that was the first
Yeah.
jam you were getting such a high score in.
Yeah.
So let's fast track now. Discovering purpose, going back to secondary school, getting your JAMB result right. Tell us what was your experience like in university now that you were now purpose fit. You were getting a bespoke education that was tailor made for your true identity. What was the experience like? Tell us some of your accomplishments while you were in Unilag.
All right.
And
So
you are free to brag on God.
yes, I can buga on God. Okay. So when I go into school, from 100 level, like from 100 level, I started getting the opportunity to be on stage with professional artists when in our field, which is very rare because from 100 level, you're quote unquote a rookie. You're just coming, so you shouldn't be in that space. But it's funny how that was my first conscious experience in the arts, since all I've been doing through my life is prepare as a science student. So I didn't have so much of that. Just maybe once or twice in church where I do presenting or anchor an event. I didn't even act that much in church or any other place. So I knew that I was in my place because being my first experience, and I was noticed on the spot from 100 level, okay, that this guy has something in him. It was even a revelation for me that, hey, you guys are seeing some, wow, that's good. So it gave me more conviction that, okay, yes, I'm in the right place. So from 100 level, I started going for shows outside school, which is very rare. Um, while I was still in school, I got the opportunity of going to the Aso that's the office of the president, to do a
Wow.
performance. Yes, I was
Wow.
in secondary school. I said second university rather. I think I was in 200 or 300 level. I think 200 level at that time. So from 100 level, people started noticing me. I started going for shows outside school. Even within the school, I was quite, should I use the word popular
Purpose.
in my department? And if you ever do a play or a show in main auditorium, the entire school will know you. So at 200 level, I started doing plays in the main auditorium, which is very rare also for a 200 level student. And those were the pointers that made me understand, okay, I'm in the right place. So I think it was after that I got the opportunity to go to Aso Rock. I went to Abuja twice to do an
Who
event.
was
First
the
of
president of that?
sorry,
Who was the president of Nigeria at that time?
it was Goodluck
Was it
Jonathan.
Goodluck
No, no, it was Buhari.
President?
It was Buhari. It was President Buhari. It
President?
was President Buhari. Because I know that
Okay.
Vice President Osibanjo was at the event. So yes,
Oh, okay.
it was Buhari at that time. It was Buhari at that time. So the second time we also went for that same event, but now it was at another prestigious place in Abuja. It was the office of Air Force, the Air Force Base, military people of Nigeria. So those were pointers that, okay, I'm in the right place. It was easy for me to rise to rise to that level as a student, to get to that professional level. While I was in school, also I had the opportunity of performing in all the biggest stages in Nigeria, from Terra Culture to Freedom Park, Muson Center. Anybody that if you're a student and get the opportunity to perform there, you're a big boy that time in school. People look up to you. And for me,
Mm.
those were great things that I saw that helped me further
It
believe
solidified your
that,
confidence.
yes, my confidence and believe that, yes, I made the right decision. Because if you could achieve all those things while you're in school, it was a pointer that, okay, you're in the right path, because we're more than 100 students, and if they're looking for, I dare to say, and this is on God, we're looking for two people in the entire department, not just in my set, in the entire department, for a performance when it involves either acting or dancing. I dance, so what I do.
Selected you. Please
Yes, I
hold
was
your thought there.
one of
I
selected
want to
people.
ride on what you just said to invite all parents, all guardians, school owners, especially parents. See, there is a star in your child. There is a treasure in your child. And if you don't treasure that treasure in your child, the world will trash that treasure. At the Purpose School, we help your child to discover their great, we call it their G spot, their greatness spot, and their grace spot. What the discovery of purpose does, there are numerous benefits, but there's a particular one highlighted in Proverbs 18:16, that the gift of a man makes room for him and brings him before great men, brings him before great men of great reputation. And that's the difference. When you are doing something you are not graced or gifted by God for, you'll be lost in the crowd. You'll be lost in the crowd. It'll be hard for you to get those choice opportunities. And this is why we are telling parents to take advantage of this 13th edition. And if you're a young person watching this video, do yourself a great favor. Invest in your own greatness. 3 days at the Purpose School will transform your life forever. Any mindset you had before now that makes you think you can't, or popularity or fame is wrong, is not wrong. You can use popularity and fame to achieve great things for God. It's not about just showing off your talent. There's a reason behind fame, because this generation needs role models. So in 3 days, let me roll out the guest facilitators that will be teaching alongside me. I have the privilege of having on board this year's edition. We're going to have a life coach, a top performance coach, a certified NLP practitioner, the person of Michael Oladapo. He is a phenomenal mind. He's a phenomenal speaker. He's also a reverend by calling, but he's coming in the capacity as a trained life coach and top performance coach, Michael Oladapo. And coincidentally, he's also the founder of the TPC community. That's Top Performance Community, not the Purpose Center. It's TPC. Then the best etiquette coach I know in any part of Nigeria, Africa. When I met her, we were single. I was single. Okay, we were single. But because of the quality of her session at the leadership camp, where I was also invited to facilitate, I was so awed. I had to ask for her number, primarily for her to come teach at the next edition of the Purpose School. But I saw some other beautiful qualities, and I had to marry her quickly. So, on the line of your purpose, you can also meet your life partner. Like my relationship coach, Pastor Kingsley, would say, you find your purpose for life before you find your partner for life. So the etiquette diva will be teaching at this 13th edition of the Purpose School, because you can't fulfill purpose if you have bad manners, because a lot of people will run away from you. People will walk away from you if your etiquette is not right. All right. Your etiquette can be the ticket into the palace season of your life. Joseph had etiquette while he was in prison. He showed consideration to other people. So come and find out how you can beautify your personality from the etiquette code. Then the third phenomenal facilitator at this 13th edition is a mentor to me and also a friend of many years. Is called the Senior Advocate of Comedy, Sako, the compare with a sense of humor. Or I like to call him the compare with the uncommon, compare with sense and humor, because he does ethical comedy. He's a phenomenal master of ceremony, and he'll be sharing his own story of how he discovered himself as a teenager with a talent for comedy, but much more than the talent, he discovered his purpose and assignment, and that has kept him on track. He's the first destination compare. He travels around the world, emceeing top class events, and he will be coming live in person. This is not one of the scams out there. You will meet him live in person, so that your child or your world, your children, can have a direct contact with great people in this generation who are doing great things based on the grand discovery they made. and I'll also be there. I'll be teaching about 8 of the courses in person. And there is a bonus offer. If you are watching this video, if you are live on this call, there's a bonus offer if you sign up within the next 24 hours for the Purpose School. It's 15,000 naira. Is an investment that will change your life. In fact, I think this is the cheapest it can ever be. 15,000 naira. Some of you spend all of that on data in 3 days, and nothing has changed. See, your mindset is more important than your handset. I'll say it again.
Hey.
Your mindset is more important than your handset. Some of you invest more in your handset and you have not invested anything in your mindset. This grand discovery will change your life. You will begin to live a grand life. If you attend a Purpose School and nothing changes in your life, I will refund your money. That you have a money back guarantee. If you attend 3 days and in 3 months you do everything we ask you to do and nothing changes, I'm going to refund you, and I can even refund you ×2 if nothing changes in your life. But we are guaranteeing you. Daniel's testimony is a phenomenal one, but we have over 30,000 young people that have gone through his academy in the last 13 years. But his story always inspires me every time because he had to go back. There's one other young man that also had to go. He didn't go back to secondary school. He was in secondary school, but he changed his school totally. He was supposed to go from SS2 to SS3, but he attended the Purpose School in that long vacation, and he was also in science class and discovered that he was in the wrong department. So he told his mother, to cover my shame, change my school. So he went to a new school and started from SS1.
Wow.
His mates were in SS3. He went back to SS1, and he became the best student in that school. In 3 years, became the head boy. Today, he's a music producer. He's doing great things. So I want to invite you, if you're watching this video, send me a DM and get the discount. It's 20% discount if you are an individual, but we're giving group discounts. If you're a sponsor, if you want to sponsor 10 teenagers or 10 young people to this year's edition, we have a massive discount for group registrations. We have 25% discount for group registrations. So Daniel, on a final note, what would you say to that confused young boy or young girl out there today watching this video? They might even be out of university, because there are some people that have gone through the Purpose School that had already finished university, but they are still very confused. What would you advise them to do as a final word tonight?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to tell you that you matter because you're created by God, and you matter the most when you are in His plan and in His purpose for your life. So it does not matter where you are right now, how you feel. You might feel like you are not important, or you are the black sheep or the worst of your kind. Trust me, you matter. There is something in, for the fact that you're on this earth, there is something in you. Second thing is, dedicate yourself towards discovering that thing, that purpose, the plan that God has for you. I advise you that one of the fastest routes is to go through the Purpose School. That's one of the best routes right now. There are different ways that are very excruciating and long, but God has helped us and has put the message in the Purpose School for every person out there in the world. So I advise you, go through the Purpose School. I can guarantee you that your life will never remain the same. You would get direction for your life's purpose. And after you discover that, the next thing you should do is be bold about living your life of purpose. Another thing, be bold about telling people they also can discover themselves the way you discovered yourself, and let the entire world know that we can fill the earth with purposeful people. Because I learned that the more purposeful people we have, the better the world will be. For instance,
Yes.
if we have someone that's living life according to the purpose of God, I'm sure by now the power issue in this country would have been fixed. We have someone
Would
that is
have
in
been
purpose. Yeah, if someone in purpose, I'm sure that the roads would have been fixed. If we all just live our lives in purpose, this world will literally be a better place. So guess what? You are the one we have been waiting for. So discover your purpose so don't wait for too long again. Thank you.
Well, you heard that from Daniel Idiabor. I call him my billionaire son. He's a billionaire movie producer, creative
Yeah,
artist. If you want to
I'm
produce a
jealous.
short film, please go to the handle King underscore Dapper. If
Yeah,
you need somebody to direct your movie, this young man is loaded with that genius. He got proper education for 4 years in one of the best universities in Nigeria.
yeah,
He is tested, trusted, and you can entrust your stories to him to flesh it out. And please make sure you pay him very well. He's worth
yeah.
his onions. All right, you heard that. You matter, and head to head is conversations on matters that matter. Your
Hmm.
purpose is the problem that you were created to solve. You are an assignment this generation must experience. You are an answer to a question that God knew would be asked in this generation. And the purpose school is the answer to that question in your mind, who am I? So do not delay, not dilly-dally, do not postpone necessary action.
Yeah,
Send us a DM tonight and secure your seat. Limited spaces left. Registrations are filling up fast, and we are counting down. Today is September 1st, so that means
mm,
we have 11 days more to the kickoff of the 13th edition of Nigeria's premier and leading self-discovery and purpose discovery academy. And I make bold to say Africa's first, because I've also Googled all across Africa. There is presently no purpose and self-discovery academy. And good news to everyone out there, from next year, 2023, the Purpose School will be running our full programs throughout the year. So you can attend
oh,
the Purpose
great,
School.
great,
You
great.
can register like you go to a proper school. You can register for our first term in January, and it's going to run from January to March, and then we start our second session. But it's in three phases. You go through the discovery phase, the incubation phase, and then the growth phase. So that's the acronym for DIG, dig, because it's those who dig into their purpose that become big on the earth. So if you see anybody who is the grand master today, they have spent years digging into their self-discovery tunnel, and
Yeah,
today they are dishing out their own fruitfulness from their seed. If you find a seed that became a tree, the first thing the farmer did was to dig into the ground and planted that seed. So your life is not meant to be lived for you alone. You are actually, the potential you have is not for you, it's for me. God expects you to find yourself, refine yourself, then serve yourself to the rest of humanity. You are supposed to be like a tree that produces its fruit or have fruit for others to benefit, and no tree eats its own fruit. So the Purpose School is like a refinery. So come and be refined so that you can get the proper definition for your life. So Daniel, thank you. We can go on, but we don't want to release all the secrets out here. And
yeah,
so, like I said, the venue for the Purpose School is PDXI Hub. It's PDXI. I stands for innovation. That's PDX Innovation Hub, right in the city of Lagos. The capital of Lagos is Ikeja. So we are taking the Purpose School right to the heart of Lagos, and we are close to the governor's office, is Central Business District, number 1 CIPM Road. And you can get more details on my Instagram handle, Mr. Purpose International. And that's where the Purpose Center will be having, or the Purpose School will be rolling out all our programs from next year, 2023. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can also send me a DM. We do virtual coachings throughout the year, every quarter, and you can sign up right away after this Instagram Live is over. So, Daniel, we're looking out for your next movie. I believe you're going
yeah.
to win an Oscar someday, because
Yes.
you are a superstar carrying a mandate for the kingdom. So, your
Man.
final words, I've asked you before, but your final words, what your final words to your fans out there, to some of those young people who look up to you for inspiration? Just give them a one-liner, and then we wrap it up for tonight.
All right, a one-liner. It's still in my heart to tell you that you matter. So the best thing to do is to do what matters the most. And what matters the most is live a life of purpose. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That was, in fact, that one-liner is worth $1 million. All right.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you so much for being part of Head to Head tonight. We'll be
thank you
coming
for having
again
me.
with another wonderful guest next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. And I hope to see you at the Grand Discovery, the 13th edition of the Purpose School. Exceed as you proceed, everybody. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Good night.
All right. Good night. Thank you. Good night, everyone.